Hi, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. How are you doing today? So, I'm going to be sharing some content on career. How do you ace career personality question? So, I'm going to just be using my laptop to, you can't see my laptop, but I'm going to be using it to like share the content I've written so far for you. So, when you ask questions on personality test, when you ask in an interview what to take a personality test, what is the intent, how do you answer it, what's the intent, what are the things you should, what are the ways you should answer it, how should you answer it. Okay, so this is it basically. Personality tests are questions that help you or the person asking you to learn more about you. It's very simple. They are often open-ended questions and they are designed to give an accurate view into the personality of the individual or you in this case. So there are numerous personality tests you should the basically numerous personality tests there is in the world today. But here are ways you can literally ace the personality test. The first thing you need to do is answer truthfully. Yes, answer truthfully, but answer professionally. When you're asked a question like this, how would your best friend describe you? You don't need to tell them that your best friends call you Odogu. Literally, that's not the right word to use. You don't need to tell them how you drink 5 bottles of beer every evening and your best friends called you Odogu. Please don't. It's going to ruin your chances of getting the job. Then you don't want to lie. You don't want to lie. So be straightforward, give them the best answer. You can say something like this: my best friends call me a very persistent person because I'm very when I'm to do something, I give it my best. That's very simple and that's very professional. 2, don't go on and on. Don't be too wordy. Give them straight to the point. So if they ask you, let me just give another example again. If they ask you what is your greatest accomplishment, you don't need to tell them how you start from age 10 you won a debate quiz. Then to tell them, just go straight to the point. Basically, what the question is trying to answer is what's your perspective or what your priorities, your values in life basically are. 3, you don't want to give the same answers too many times. You don't want to keep on honing on a particular skill like persistent or confident, or it's going to really reduce your chances. They're going to ask you questions about your integrity. They're going to ask you questions about your professionalism. They're going to ask you questions about your leadership skills. They're going to ask you a whole lot of questions. So if your answers don't really add up, it could be very deadly. So I'm going to give you 10 most popular personality questions you often get in an interview. 10 most popular personality questions you get in an interview. The first one is, what adjective or what word would your best friends or three people close to you use in describing you? Basically, the question is just meant to think. The question is just meant to understand how you relate with others and the characters you display in relating to others. Another one they're going to ask you again is, I'm picking out the top 10. There are many, but I'm picking out the top 10 questions you're going to get asked. Second one I'm going to ask you is, what are you most proud of, or what is your greatest accomplishment? Now, this question seeks to understand how you prioritize your values. It equally helps the person asking to understand what matters the most to you. So you may not want to really lie here. It's going to be very detrimental to you. Okay. Another question that is often asked again is, how do you deal with failure? They are trying to, in this question, they are trying to understand how, what your response to failure is, and how you deal with challenging circumstances. Now, this is a very, very interesting personality question test that most persons often ask, but this is it. If you discovered something wrong with your car, I've researched many other personality test questions, and they often like interchange it like this. If you discover something wrong in your house, if you discover something broke in your car, or if you discover something they don't basically change it. They basically change it in different variations. But this is it. If you discover something wrong with your car, what's the first thing you're going to do? Now, this question seeks to understand how you respond to challenging, unplanned crises, how you deal with challenging situations, and how quickly you can think on your feet. The fourth question you get asked is this. It's becoming something that is very, very common now. How do you like to be managed? How do you like to be managed? Now, this question identifies the management style you prefer and the one you work best with. Equally, it hints at the management style you yourself you're likely to use in managing others. Now, literally, there's so many funny questions. The fifth one is this: do you easily trust others? This question, in fact, for this question, I feel you should answer as truthfully as you can. As truthfully as you can for this question, because there's no right or wrong answer to all this. The sixth question you're going to get asked is, how often do you get in the zone? How often do you get in the zone? Now, by this question, what this question seeks to identify is how often you're very creative. It equally helps the person asking it, or the interviewer, what times you get creative and what times is best to give you work. That's the sixth question. The seventh question is, what is one thing you would never say to another? What is one thing you never say to another? And the funny thing about this question is that it comes in many variations, but it's always asked. They always ask this specific question: what is one thing you would never say to another? Now, this this question gives an indication of your limitations, your beliefs, and your boundaries. It gives the interviewer a better understanding of how you relate with others and the boundaries you put in place when relating to others. Then the eighth question that's always asked is this. There are so many questions here, but I'm not like literally picking out the top 10 that are always asked. What word would your former colleagues in the workplace use in describing you? Now, this question is very, very tricky, like extremely tricky if you're not careful. So this question seeks to identify the perception your colleagues from your former workplace have towards you, your work ethics. Now, are you seeing it? They are getting your work ethics from the word they're going to use. You're going to give them, or for your answer you're going to give to them. So the question seeks to identify the perception your colleagues have towards you, your work ethic, and your relationship with them. Like literally, can you say it? Then the 10th question you always get asked is this. Is this actually? Okay. What would you do in your free time when you have no plans? Now, this question may be reframed in this place: are you an introvert or are you an extrovert? It may be reframed that way. But the question seeks to understand your social disposition towards life and majorly how you spend your free time. So those are the top 10 questions that you often get asked in a personality test, they may be different variation of them. They may be reframed, they may be rephrased, but basically these are the 10 major questions a personality test would ask you. So when answering it, be very careful, be honest, don't give the same answer more than once, don't give the same word, or you don't use the same word many times. Don't, while you're being honest, be professional. You don't want to tell them about literally things they ought not to hear. You don't want to tell them a pity story, don't tell them a sad story. And be as, why you should be open, you should equally be guarded, because you're not having a dinner table discussion, neither you're having a tea party. So on this, I hope this really helps you get the job. And please, when you do get the job, kindly email me to let me know that this really helped you. Bye, have a nice time.